Hello friends, I am Shubhendu Chakravarti. Here is my second video on industrial networking. In this video, I'll discuss the introduction to data communication. In my last video, I have left with the datacom basics in which we have discussed two different pillars. One is the telecommunication and the other one is data communication. In telecommunication, the transmission of the voice, video, data, etc. is coming for a longer distance. And in case of data communication, the movement of the data in the computer or in other different means of electrical or optical transmission systems are coming. So the convergence of these two different areas is basically the detailing of the broadband communications. Here we start with our communication model in which you can see that here is a person who is the source, who is talking to the other person, who is the destination, and when he speaks, his source is a voice here. This voice is an analog signal which comes to this place. These analog signals are then converted into a digital format. These digital formats are converted to another format through certain amount of coding, and after the coding is done, the digital signals are again converted into analog signals with a high frequency, which is being transmitted through the transmission media. It reaches to the to the destination through other transmission lines, and received signals are again converted back to the digital format by decoding, and then decoded signals are again converted back from a digital format to analog format, and then it converts in the voice format to the person who is the destination. Now you have seen that there is a journey which goes through conversion from an voice or any other source to first analog signal, because all the physical signals are analog. Then why we are converting this to again digital format, and then again these digital signals are coded and finally again transmitted in the format of analog signals. So you can see the analog signal converted into digital signals, those digital signals are converted into coded digital signals, and those coded are converted into a high frequency signal for transmission. So this total journey will be explained in the next slide. You can see the source could be voice or a processed data, maybe industrial data like a pressure, temperature, flow, any other physical parameters. Those or the voice signals are basically the analog signals. Those analog signals are converted into a digital signal, which is normally called A to D converter, but there are certain techniques taken place, which is sampling and quantization. Now we have a digital signal. Those digital signals are coded before transmission, and if I am transmitting a data which is not a analog signal, which is a digital signal, maybe formats, computer formats or computer output, direct outputs, those are directly being sent to a coded format, coding circuit, because they are already a digital signals. Now then the coded signal is converted into high frequency signals, and there are certain techniques which is known as keying technique or digital modulation techniques. When those digital modulation techniques is used, we are having the digitally converted or coded signal into the format of analog signal, and those analog signals are transmitted through the transmission media. Why digitization? Now this is a big question. What is the reason for converting all these analog signal to a digital signal and using the digital transmission technique, again using the analog signal? The conventional communication system suffers from many losses, that is the distortion and signal attenuation, interferences of noise and other physical disturbances, and moreover the security of the signals. These effects are much reduced in digital signals as they are less affected by these signals. Digital circuits are more reliable, they are easy to design, and there is a technique of encryption and compression which is employed to maintain the secrecy of the information. Probability of error occurrence is also reduced by employing error detection and error correcting codes. The process of converting this analog signal to a digital goes through two phenomena or two schemes. The first is known as sampling and the other one is known as quantization. Sampling is a process of measuring the instantaneous values of continuous time signal in a discrete form. You can see there is a continuous time signal, maybe an analog signal from voice or whatever, or any physical one. When if you just take a sample, that means if the times is taken at this point t1 t2 t3, that amplitude is plotted like this. You can see that we have a format which is resembling the analog signal. When a square or a source generates an analog signal, and if that has to be digitized, it is having ones or zeros, high or low, this signal has to be discretized in time. This discretization of analog signal is called sampling. So here this continuous time varying signal has been converted into a discrete signal which is having a particular amplitude for each position of the time. Next phenomenon is the quantization. Quantization means the signal which is available as an analog signal here is divided into various small parts, or this axis is being cut in a very small parts, so that we can see that this whole amplitude or whole this slope, I don't say slope, it is the signal, is cut like this, as if for each place we have certain amount of particular values. So this converting a continuous amplitude sample into a discrete time signal is basically known as quantization. This is represented by the sample value of this amplitude by definite levels of signal. Now for each place of this signal it has a definite value. So if we take a particular value from this, if we have divided this into both the axes, so you can see at each point there is a value, and that value is converted into this. It looks similar to the signal, but it each has a fixed value or a discrete value, which is a digital signal, this blue line. Now this digitized signal is again converted into a coded format. This process of coding is used to avoid overlap or distortion of the signal, such as inter-symbol interference. Now there are certain properties of this coding which is also known as line coding, to make more bits transmitted on a single line or single bandwidth. The bandwidth used is also much reduced because more number of information can be sent by decoding. The probability of error is much reduced. The error detection is done and has a correction capability, suppose, and the power density is favorable. Now when it is transmitted from one end to the other end, there is also a loss, there is also a distortion, but the correction capability of the system converts the original signal back. There are three types of line coding used: unipolar, bipolar, polar, and bipolar. Now, unipolar tells that this is also known as like on-off keying. The keying word is used here. We'll discuss in our next slide. Now, it represents that presence of a one pulse. Suppose this is the clock. According to the clock, so and this is the data, which is 101001110. Now you can see that the same thing happens here. Here the 1 is represented with a pulse and 0 is represented with the absence of a pulse. So 101100, whatever it is written here, you can see a similar kind of coded pulse at this place, and it looks very similar to this, but there are certain other variations. So this is known as non-return to zero, because the signal is going here and coming and taking a shape of zero in this place. But there are other format. Second format of an unipolar signal type is return to zero. Here also the similar thing happens, but you can see that when it within this one, within this data 1, the coded is 1, but in case of RZ, that is return to 0, this coded format, this pulse is coming to 0. That means within one bit it is taking one pulse and also coming to 0 between this. And if it is again 1, you can see the similar thing happens and 0 remains the same. So when there are 3 ones, it takes 3 different shapes. Now that this is the reason for this, it increases the accuracy of this signal and error is less. Next is the polar coding. Polar means it has got a high pulse which is represented by positive and low pulse which is represented by this. Now it also had a it is also having two types of working or says types. That is, one is NRZ, that is non-return to zero, and return to zero. The similar data we have taken here, and you can see when there is a 1, it is 1 and it is 0 for the 0. But in case of here, you can see this this is coming to 0, that is between 1 to 0, 1 to 1, it is taking a positive shape and coming back to 0, and in case of 0 it is going down and coming back to 0. So this is known as, this is two state with two different positions or two different levels. So that is why it is known as polar coding. Then comes bipolar coding. Bipolar coding says that it has 3 different voltage levels, that is positive, negative and 0. For one, the voltage level gets a transition from plus to minus or from minus to plus, having alternative ones to be equal polarity. A 0 will be having a 0 voltage level. Now let us see the same data. When it goes from 1 to 0, you see it goes to 1 and it comes back to 0, and when it goes again to 1, it again changes the place. That means it has got 3 places. What is 1, that is high pulse, what is 0 and what is negative pulse. So whenever there is a change, it changes its level. Like you see 1 and 0, then from 1 it has come to 0, and then when again 1 comes, it changes its position. So from 1 to 0, it has changes its polarity from positive to 0, and from 0 to 1 it again changes its position from 0 to minus, that is negative value, and this continues. So between 2 ones, you can see it changes its position. Between 3 ones, actually it changes one positive, the 1 comes again, it goes to the negative pulse, again it comes to the positive pulse. So every change, it changes its position from one level to the other level. And similar case in the bipolar type, return to 0 type, here what happens, the same thing happens, but before coming to the next position it touches 0, so it is known as return to 0. Digital modulation, you just see this slide. We have a photograph of few things. One gentleman who's known as Samuel Morse, and there is a key which is known as Morse code key. This gentleman, he's a basically not a scientist. He was a art professor of literature, who has actually thought of something that when something has been transmitted, it took a lot of error and long time. So this is the first development of the first telecommunication equipment, which is known as telegraph. So this is a telegraphic key. From this word key means it has got, like this key, it has got two position, open or close. Through this we can open or close a lock. So this word key has been taken to constitute these words: amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, and phase shift keying, which you'll see in our next slide. So this digital format is coded because it to be transmitted, and this transmission needs an electromagnetic signal. Now this digital format, after the coding, will be converted into an electromagnetic signal through any of these keying techniques, and this transmission takes place only with a high frequency signal. This is achieved through digital modulation, which provides more information capabilities, high data security, quicker system availability with great quality communication. Let us see what is ASK and FSK. ASK is amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying. Now in amplitude shift keying, you can see this data which we are discussing earlier, that is 1010110. Now this is being converted or in the format of some amplitude. The high frequency here, you can see when there is a 1, there is a high frequency. When there is a 0, there is absence of that high frequency. Similarly, in case of FSK, that is frequency shift key, this digital modulation technique in which the frequency of the carrier signal varies according to the digital signal change. Here the variation with the amplitude, here the variation with the frequency. You can see for high we have certain amount of frequency, which is a higher frequency. For 0, for 1 we have higher, for 0 we have low frequency, and this is translated through this high frequency format in the format of ones and zeros. The third one is phase shift keying. The digital modulation technique in which the phase of the carrier signal is changed by varying the sine or cosine inputs at a particular time, and it is of two types. One is binary, one is quadrature. In binary phase shift keying, it has got two phase of reverse. One is forward, one is reversal. It could be phase reversal can be done either with 0 degree or with 180 degree. So for each 1 or each 0, we can see that there is a phase reversal takes place. Okay, but in case of quadrature phase shift, this is achieved through the shift is achieved in 4 different angles: 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, and 270 degree. So for 0 degree, you can see there, so it with one beat or one signal, more than one, that is 2 signals are being sent. Now you can see for 1 bit of signal, there are in 2 signals this shifting is being taking place. This thing can be understood very easily with a mathematical formula, which I can sometime use in one of my next video, in which we'll discuss the this digital modulation technique in detail. But for this class, this is I have discussed in this much. So you can see this whole journey, you can ask a question that if I am singing, how I am telling that this digital technique is better. So you can see some data is being converted, and this is the signal which is being transmitted. Now when the signal is received at the receiver end, there is a attenuation because of the atmospheric noise or any other physical variation. So the amplitude of this signal has attenuated from these areas. So you can see this signal is converted to this. Similar thing happened with this and this and this. So when we receive these signals, this is not the same format. Had it been a analog transmission, we would have lost certain amount of voice or certain amount of signals which is there. The same thing happens here also, but by the corrector which I have discussed, the corrector understands that even if there is a attenuation, even if there is a attenuation, this may be 1, this may be 0, this may be 1, this may be 0, these are ones. So it retrieves back the digital format even if there is attenuation. So this is the core concept or core reason for using the digital transmission techniques. Okay, here we come to the part of end of the part 1.1.2, and in my next video we'll discuss the transmission media, which is the joining, or which is the carrier, which is the basically channel between the transmitter and receiver. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.